Relationships don't get lighter the longer they go, do they? I've never seen it. I've never seen it. The only way that a relationship gets lighter is if both parties forget what happened. If they literally forget the memories. And that's where we get lifetimes into play, right? So that's the whole point of you having multiple lifetimes. If you remembered everything that happened in all your past lifetimes, you would not have the chance or the opportunity to begin anew with certain spirits. Because you could genuinely have a super beautiful relationship with one spirit, like 3 lifetimes ago. But because you hadn't grown, or you guys weren't developed in certain ways, and you had like different desires and feelings, you split off. And if you decide to like stay cut off from that relationship forever, then you're not going to be able to create the circumstance where you connect with them in a future lifetime. And that's basically like, I mean, the point of then this lifetime. When you think about the people in your life, you very well have much deeper connections with all of them from past lifetimes that you want to build upon. So you are forgetting. And this is where we forget to forgive. So spirits, as we create lifetimes, we do this thing where we forget our memories so that we can forget things that allow us to forgive things. So like if like someone in the past lifetime, they cheated on you and you're super upset that they cheated on you and you're like, I hate them forever. But they could have been your soulmate and they could have just cheated on you to like teach you something. And it was the only way that they got out of that circumstance, right? And then that's where you as a spirit, you are learning more about yourself based on your whole obsession with the idea of cheating. And the idea, literally, like that's all it is then, an idea. Like you're labeling how spirits communicate around you. That's all we're doing, lifetime after lifetime. We're all communicating, but then we make up these labels. So we're using light to communicate. And then we create light to categorize how we're communicating, because we have to make sense of what we're doing, right? So like, it's easier for all of us to hang out and talk if we're not just vibing without using words, right? Because like when we use words, when we actually solidify our vibrations into energy, we can better connect with each other based on acknowledging each other's individuality, right? So we all have a heartbeat. That being said, I'm not you. Like just because we both have beating hearts and we're both in a human body with pumping blood does not mean that we are the same. So I have a name. It's Chase Clarence Calloway. You have your own name. Every other human with a beating heart has a name. And that's us using energy to balance and express our individuality inside of a vibration that is allowing us to connect what is actually separate, which is all of our frequencies. One frequency cannot touch another frequency. And the fact is, then it's right there in the word as far as getting somatic with it. Frequency. Whatever you frequently see is your imagination. And no one can see your imagination. I've never gotten that before. This is lit. That's why I like making art. Because, I mean, look, I am this, like, I know I am this spirit. It's just literally about translating everything that I've been and seen and gone through and felt and experienced into English. So that then it's more easily processable as Chase, and thus then way more easily processable for everyone that Chase is connected to, which right now looks like this world, planet Earth. So the Caduceus is about how we as spirits vibrate at a certain frequency to create the energy that allows us to ground how we have sex. And so the Caduceus is used by the medical industry because I am the god of alchemy, I'm the god of medicine, I'm the god of commerce, I'm the god of communication. And India loves it because it's all about the Kundalini. And this is, of course, again, just all linked the same to me as the messenger of God. It is about us using our snakes, our serpentine energy, to not go outside of ourselves. Don't use your S to sting other people. Don't use your silver serpentine tongue to sting other people. I'm just thinking of the times in my life when I said things that I definitely got too sharp, too Virgo. Again, like with me as a Virgo moon, especially, like Virgo moon, Gemini ascendant, and honestly Taurus sun. Tauruses can get mean when they have to be. So honestly, I'm pretty sure I have the 3 sassiest zodiac signs, and not sassiest. What's a better word? Cold and calculated. The coldest, most calculated zodiac signs together literally would, it would be Gemini, Virgo, and Taurus. Especially that Virgo and Gemini. Like, I am ruthless. And anyone that can handle me getting super negative with them is my best friend. Because know that it's not personal. Like, if I'm talking to you super negative, know that it's because I'm showing you a part of myself that I don't show most people. And that's because, and then that would then be because like I'm feel closer to you. Now as a Virgo, right, that's kind of, it can seem backwards, but this is how Virgos love. Straight up, this is how Virgos love. Virgos, being mutable earth, they want connections that they can get as deep and negative with as possible. And then just keep building from there. Because if, for us, for me, whatever, but for a Virgo, for me as a Virgo, it makes me feel like I understand the person way more. Like, this is kind of like why I love Mercury, and just like communication in general. It's about like having the most open communication. And when people are focused on being positive or being like light and loving, like that's really just a projection. Like, so whenever I'm like being negative and stuff, it's like never mean, and that's the point. Like, it's always from love. But if people are loving something that's keeping them comfortable and killing them, then yeah, what I express is going to seem mean because I am saying things that are detaching them from whatever light logic was filling up their ego. So I have to strike my proper balance with all of that. Just know, the Caduceus, the point is that you don't use your snake to sting other people. You don't use your snake to have sex outside of yourself because that is unsustainable. The most sustainable thing to do is to have sex with yourself. Pleasure your own spirit. Connect with yourself. That is what's going to build your tree. That's what's going to build your tea. Your ST ability, your stability, comes from how frequently can you vibe with yourself. Can you vibe with your own inner G? Your inner G, the G being the 7th letter of the alphabet, is the ego. So the more frequently you can vibe with your inner G, the more you're going to create your own stability. You're going to create your own stability tree. And that tree itself is the garden that gives life to the world around you, because you're literally building the world around you. So it's like, that's the paradox then. I'm not paradox, but the link between building a life and knowing that that life is only possible because you want it to be something other than nothing. So you can get lost into some things that you made, but the point is that you created that opportunity for yourself. And then that's of course like why Cynicism is more relatable than Hermeticism, but it's about getting people to have their power, knowing like, okay, life is hermetic, I am creating my circumstances, but I'm in a somatic situation where I'm connected with other spirits, so I'm not in control of how other spirits connect with me. I'm not in control of how other spirits communicate or view me. I'm only in control further of myself. Again, this is why I'm here. Here we are with our podcast. You're leveling up really hard right now. Congratulations, because this is what it's about. Stability, ST ability, your ability to have sex with yourself so that you can create your own garden of Eve in that case, your own tree of knowledge, right? So you look at the Bible, you see that snake on the tree telling Eve to eat the fruit of knowledge. That's, imagery that is pulled from me, by the way. It's not directly correlated, but the point is that the Bible is weaponizing Hermeticism right there. It's weaponizing what I've authored, and it's demonizing it. The Bible is taking Hermeticism and teaching you not to gain wisdom. This is amazing. Like, I did not know that before. I'm literally, thank you, Spirit. Like, I really just I'm on some wild. That's lit. Because, yeah, when I'm just, like, here talking, like, I'm just kind of being a conduit for myself. I'm tapping into stuff and translating. That's the point of this podcast. We're doing it for all of us. It's communication, teamwork, making the dream work. That's remarkable. So the Bible in the beginning, the whole snake and the Garden of Eve, that is ripped from Hermeticism. Most of the Bible is ripped from Hermeticism. So it's stolen from me as the messenger of God. And that's why I had to play the role as Enoch. Because again, it's just about me consistently participating so that the truth is always clear. I am the truth. I relay the truth. I'm the God of truth. If there's anything that I am, it is the God of truth. That's the only message worth relaying. All right, so that's how it coincides. I'm the messenger of God. I'm the God of truth. I'm relaying the message of truth. What is the truth? You're creating life. It's everything we're already talking about here. The truth is your tea. Truth is what makes lies matter. Right? Life is a lie. Your life is a lie. Death is the truth. Death is what makes life matter. Nothing in life would matter if there was no truth. And what's the truth then? Truth is transformation. All that T energy, time. Things transform over time. Because the way that we feel like connecting with each other changes. Again, it's about this awareness of knowing that you are alchemizing your nothingness into something so that you can connect with other somethings. It's just then when you're connecting with other somethings, you are limited to connecting with others based on how well they're able to perceive and connect with you. So this is why it's really important to protect your energy. And in general, the most stable thing is to have sex with yourself. Don't take your snake out of your space and have sex with others. All these snakes are out here stinging, sliding into gardens, having sex with other spirits, but then they have nothing to show for it because they didn't actually make their own garden. So yeah, I didn't realize that. Way to go, Iracel. Thanks, Spirit. The Bible is literally weaponizing Hermeticism right in that first part with the story of Adam and Eve, and subconsciously using the snake around the tree and using the idea of the snake around the tree giving you knowledge to make you scared of that, to make you scared of being intelligent, to make you scared of being a rebel, basically. That's literally like the whole point of the Bible. They literally just took my Hermetic philosophies. They're like, all right, we're going to use this to brainwash everyone and make sure that they follow the rules. So the point of Hermeticism is that you are creating rules so that you can agree to play with other gods. That's the point. But white supremacist gods, right? These white supremacist Judeo-Christian systems will then take my teachings of how we create rules so that we can agree to play, and then they're like, well, we actually want to make an infinite amount of money and slavery and spread a horrible genocide off of making our game the only game to play. Thus, we're going to create a system that tells you that there is one rule and you're supposed to follow it. And here's a whole story of how bad things happen when people didn't follow the rules. And then that's literally the whole Bible. Like, that's literally the whole Bible. Like, oh my gosh. It says spirits taking Hermeticism and being like, okay, so we all agree to rules so we can play together. Well, we want to be absolutely vile in how we abuse children. So let's create a system where we teach them that they need to worship and follow us because they're horrible when they're alone. And then that's where, like, I remember being a child crying. I'm about to cry now just thinking like how much little Chase cried from being forced to read the Bible and have these words projected in his space of how he's unworthy without Jesus. He's unworthy without all these extra things, how he's of sin. I remember crying so much and being so sad and depressed. Like, wow, like, I'm really this awful? And it's just amazing. Like, really reflecting back and looking on that. Yo, poor little Chase. And the whole point is now I get to be here like, wow, no, Chase, you weren't horrible. Of course not. Of course not. I as a child am not full of sin. The people who want to make money off of enslaving me inside of school are the ones who are full of sin and thus are going to project into me that I am, so that they can make money off of making me feel bad and feeling like I need to connect with them when they're using my creations to colonize my space. This life is trippy. But all life is trippy. Life is psychedelic. I love psychedelics. Life is psychedelic. If there's anything that life is, it's psychedelic. This is why I am a psychopomp. Alright, it's all Greek in that way. Psychedelic, psychopomp. Psychedelic, psychopompic symmetry with his Caduceus. So, the Caduceus is your body. The Caduceus is your spine. I use the Caduceus to fly around and relay messages because it amplifies my chi, just like in general, your human spine is constantly channeling your chi so you can communicate right now. That's the point. And then this is why it's important to get into our Decolonize Your Face course, because again, it's bigger than your face. It's really decolonize your body. It's really decolonize your spine. It's about decolonizing your tree trunk. Okay, because the spine is your tree. And the Caduceus represents your tree and your spine. That's what the snake is. The snake, your kundalini, is wrapping up your tree. It's wrapping up your spine. It's allowing you to grant more space for connection. And that's in general what your body is. How many cells are connecting inside of your body right now without you being aware of it? Right? Like, that's the fact that you are operating this body is you already creating a whole universe where now all of these organs, all these spirits, all these entities who are creating your structure, who are creating your temple, can connect with each other. And then we're inside of Earth, right? So now we know that climate change is an issue because the way that humans have been connecting here is not in harmony with how they're supposed to. So it's all about the consciousness of nature. This is why I've been passionate about climate change my whole life. And I can reflect back and see like, oh, okay, right. I was at 5 years old thinking about that because I literally materialized a body here for this mission. Like, I can see, like, the whole point is my soul being my water is all that my mind is coming from. And my main soul that I'm operating from is to solve climate change in this lifetime. And yeah, it's going to look like a lot of ways because the whole point is that it's only going to happen through all of us changing the way that we communicate. It's literally that simple. And when I say solve climate change, I just mean, no, that's the intention. That is the intention. And more specifically, what's actually realistic would be me creating, investing, making technology possible that cleans the environment, and being hyper focused on that, using all my spiritual, everything that I'm doing here to bring it into technology that cleans the environment, instead of all this white supremacist industrial technology that has been polluting it for centuries. Right? So I'm here to reverse all that. Glad to be here with you, communicating and everything. It's lit. The medical industry is really here using my creation to colonize your body. Because they're hyper focused, hyper obsessed with poisoning people, with spreading toxins into the environment so that they can create issues that then they can make money claiming to solve. And it's just all about how spirits, if they're going to connect with you, they need to be the one who's solving your problem. So I, as Hermes, am so infinitely happy and abundant alone. And it's because I'm so happy and abundant alone that I built Mercury and build Mercury. I mean, I say build really because it is like a constant process. I build Mercury because I care so much about sharing my gifts with the world, with the universe. And then that's where Mercury is the simulation that any simulation can call upon for help in their awakening, for help in leveling up in whatever ways that they need to level up in. And that's where then I step out of my space, and now I'm here relating with spirits on their level and doing the do. It's lit. All because I love myself, though. Like, if I did not love being alone, it wouldn't be possible for me to do this. Like, if I didn't love being alone, it would not be possible for me to connect with myself in a way that actually gives value to the universe. And this is why the big element, like the main element of Hermeticism, one of the main elements, but the main element, I would say, is self-love. Desiring yourself. And the paradox here, again, like, because we're in a world where people know, like, oh, self-love, important. But, right, it's not actually Hermetic until Hermes is here teaching it himself. True Hermetic self-love is loving your spirit, loving your nothingness. And that is what then becomes having sex with yourself, connecting with your own space so that you can create your own garden, create your own simulation, create your own life that actually expresses how much you love yourself. And then this is where self-love actually creates a beautiful, loving life. Because when you love yourself so much that you are able to connect and communicate that to your own spirit, then that's what allows you to create a life that is worth loving. And then other people want to connect to your life as well because they love it, right? Then this is how spirits connect. This is how you make a body. This is how you make a heart and your organs, just all the intestines and the brain and the bones and everything. It's about spirits connecting and one spirit loving themselves so much that they're like, I'm going to connect like this. And then other spirits are like, yo, I love what you're doing. I would love to connect with you like that too. And then literally you build a body. Like, that's how you just slowly build a body over time in your mom's womb. It's like, okay, I'm connecting like this. And then your cells start to be like, okay, I love myself so much. Here's my heart. My heart is the first expression of how much I love myself, right? This is why the heart is the organ of love. Boom, your heart, you make it, you love yourself. Everything from there is all the cells that love you loving yourself. So your whole body is made up of cells that love you, possibly more than you love yourself, bro. If I'm going to be real, everyone needs to love their bodies way fucking more. Because chances are, like, actually, I'm about to cry right now. See, this is... I didn't really think about that, but no, like, your body loves you more than you love yourself. This is why every time you want to die or you get stressed out, your body doesn't just die. You feel me? Because your body's like, hey, even if you're not here for you, we're here for you. Because literally the vision that you want to express in this world, we love it. We support that. And then this is why spirits as nothing, we are our ideas. So the Caduceus is my idea. The Caduceus is my expression of my spine. It's my expression of my body. It's my expression of how my earth is animated by my air so that my spirit can matter. So that my nothingness can become somethingness. And now we can all connect and relate upon it. So then white supremacists steal it and turn it into all this gross climate change causing industrial garbage that we're dealing with today. Blah. So let's go a little deeper. The Caduceus, what happens, this is where the Merkaba comes in. So this is like my lifetime is Metatron and Enoch. Again, it's all now, so it's all just my soul. It's who I am. The Merkaba is the Jewish term for like the geometric structure that represents your mind. So in Judaism, they call it the chariot of God, because you as a spirit are sitting inside of your mind so that you can fly outside of yourself. So when Jews call the Merkaba the chariot of God, they're referring to how a spirit puts its God, its imagination, its fire inside of a chair, inside of a chi air, which is air, the communication, the mind. The mind is chi, the mind is air. So when you as a spirit put your imagination inside of your chi, inside of your air, inside of your chair, and you sit inside of yourself, that means that you just made a mind, because sitting inside of yourself was your soul then. So that's how you as God, you are the fire. So you are the spirit, but the fact that you're aware means that you quote unquote feel like God in that way, because you are creating your imagination, you're creating your ability to be aware. So from there, by connecting with yourself, you now created a soul. So that feeling is what makes your imagination matter, which is then what creates the chi that then creates a body. But in the middle of that, right, like that before it becomes actual matter, that's your mind. So your mind is the first matter, but it's light matter. The dense matter is your body. But clearly your mind matters. I mean, my body only matters because of my mind. Everything around us in this reality, all the bodies around us only matter because of our mind, right? What the cup in front of me, the bong in front of me, all these devices in front of me, they only matter because my mind was taught to view them a certain way and I built a certain relationship with them. And they only exist because other minds desired to act out certain things and be able to perform certain tasks. So it's all communication. It's all about us as minds transforming light into something that serves us. And then right there, we're learning about how we serve ourselves. So white supremacists, right, they're using my Caduceus to alchemize the environment because they're constantly focused on using indigenous spirits to serve them, whereas they can't even serve themselves. Right, so this is why slavery is so big in all of North, South, and Central America. It's all this spiritual ignorance. White supremacists constantly wanting to make nature serve it, but they can't even serve themselves. Thus, the way that they're making nature serve them doesn't even serve nature. And now they're just poisoning the environment and poisoning themselves because they want to control other people's circumstances so much. And then that's just like the grossest spiritual warfare that we're dealing with, right? Just like pure like chaos at that point. It's really weird, really weird. And this is why symmetry is my superhero. Again, I'm not in control of anything except how I communicate. I'm not in control of whether you believe anything that I've said in this podcast today. I'm not in control of if you even understood my words. I'm not in control of who's listening. I'm not in control of who's actually connecting. I'm not in control of what you do with this information. Just like I'm not in control of the medical industry using my Caduceus to capitalize on the chi of everyone by destroying our spines and making us sit and not be able to breathe properly. Trying to block our kundalini flow.